There's renewed anger in the United States over police violence. Footage has emerged of a 75-year-old demonstrator protesting the death of George Floyd, being pushed to the ground by officers and suffering serious head injuries. It happened in the city of Buffalo in upstate New York. The two officers involved have now been suspended. Protests have continued across America after the death of Mr Floyd, who died at the hands of 4 police officers in the city of Minneapolis last month. Our North America correspondent Ali Makboul has more details.
For days, the people of Washington have been taking their calls for change to the White House. Now the city's mayor has approved her own, the renaming of an area on the president's doorstep, Black Lives Matter Plaza. But nearby, the protests go on in the shadow of the memorial to Martin Luther King. Some scenes of police brutality he's witnessed in recent days may have seemed disturbingly familiar. In Buffalo, New York, for example, a 75-year-old protester was shoved to the ground by a policeman. Another officer goes to help him but is held back, even though the man's now motionless and bleeding from his skull. Police file past and no one else is allowed to go to his aid. 2 officers have been suspended. But it's just the latest in a torrent of apparently unjustified use of force at these protests. An assault from behind in Seattle.
What is that really doing?
The arrest in Charleston of a man peacefully trying to reason with officers. And police in LA driving into protesters, to name but a few examples. For the incident that sparked all this, 3 officers have now been charged with aiding and abetting murder. Another's already been charged with murdering George Floyd. Minneapolis says officers will now be required to intervene if they see a colleague using unauthorized force.
President of the United States.
The president's called for authorities to continue to be tough on the streets, but has also talked of equality for black people.
They have to receive fair treatment from law enforcement. They have to receive it. We all saw what happened last week. We can't let that happen. Hopefully George is looking down right now and saying there's a great thing that's happening for our country. There's a great day for him. It's a great day for everybody. Nobody's ever done for the black community what President Trump has done. Think of it.
Well, it is easy to say there should be fair treatment for African Americans, but given the deep-rooted issues with racism in this country, and as we're seeing almost daily with police culture, that is, of course, far harder to achieve in practice. Ali Makboul, BBC News in Washington.